You're listening to the Republic of Texas Radio, and today is Sunday, July the 12th. You know, this time change thing has kind of gotten a lot of chaos involved in my life. I've never actually been a morning broadcaster, so this is quite interesting, waking up and trying to get ready for stuff. Yesterday, I spent the entire day down in, Tomball, Texas, where the Republic of Texas holds its monthly meeting on every second Saturday. And I want to talk a little bit about that. There was a lot of goings on with the Republic of Texas meeting. And if you're not familiar with the Republic of Texas, it's the Texas government, the Republic of Texas. They reformed back in 2005 and are currently in the 19th Congress. We'll talk a little bit more, but let me tell you a little bit more about this show. We're seeking independence, or I'm seeking independence, and the people around me are seeking independence for Texas, freedom from the United States of America. We love you, United States of America. We truly do. But, honestly, freedom and liberty, oh, man. What price does it needs to be paid to the people around the world? How much violence do we need to actually subject? How much degradation to the people of the United States are you going to try to impose on us? I don't know. It gets very complicated. Very complicated. But I'll tell you one thing. The United States of America, corporate United States of America, as I like to call it at times, it just doesn't follow the Constitution. A previous president stated it very well, that it's just a piece of paper. He said it in a harsher tone. But you know what? It shouldn't be just a piece of paper. And it's how we guide the government, how we bind the government, how it is allowed to operate. The Republic of Texas has a constitution similar to that allegedly the United States of America follows. Well, of course, they pretend to follow it, and they'll arrange the words to say that they're actually following it, but they don't follow the Constitution. I've gone out time and time again, asked people around the alleged United States of America if the Constitution is being followed, and no, it is not. My website is rtradio.org. You can go over there. The current archives aren't up as we start working with Republic Broadcasting to expand the reach of our communications, model. There's going to be some hiccups, so we'll get that archive up as soon as possible, and I'll be working with the network. And Republic Broadcasting, if you're not familiar with it, if you're one of my longtime listeners, is, one of those fighters for freedom and liberty. Actually, John Stadtmiller, the owner, has been broadcasting via satellite since I think it's the mid-90s. He's been around for a long time. Republic International was his first satellite radio station, and now its latest incarnation would be republicbroadcasting.org. Reaches out to countless individuals via satellite through its internet stream. It's currently seeking writers. So if you're interested in writing and having, your words, your thoughts, be heard by other people, because you matter. If you're listening to this show, you matter. One of the things that we've had taken away from us is our voice, our ability to speak, our ability to communicate, to listen, to be heard. I don't know. Republic Broadcasting is seeking writers. They also need advertisers. Funding these kind of things is, very important. Donations are appreciated. Everybody needs donations. The Republic of Texas needs donations, and that's thetexasrepublic.com. And, enough said. Republic Broadcasting is one of my staples in my life, and I am pleased to be on here. Let's get to business. Today, we'll be bringing Doc Green on for the first hour. We'll have him here in a few minutes. Now, Doc Green is another person that has, similar thoughts as me. He believes that Texas needs to be, I'll let him say that, different, I'll just say, and let him expand upon that. It needs to go back to some kind of roots in, sanity maybe? Oh, no, I'm not going to throw stuff into his mouth. He's a He's a broadcaster out of, I think he's out of Houston, and he's on Raging Elephant Radio. He talks an awful lot, and a lot of the stuff that I talked about, he talks about. So we might talk about the same thing, and we'll see where we go. Second hour, I will have Ed Brenham on. Ed Brenham is the Vice President of the Republic of Texas. Now, Ed, last month during the congressional, the monthly congressional thingy, in June, I can't remember the date, he said something that really got my attention. He's starting a planning committee that's going to be looking at essential services around Texas to plan for day one when Texas achieves independence. And if you think that the only group that's working to free Texas is the Republic of Texas, I hope I'm gonna show you a different way, because there's multiple disparate groups, dissimilar groups. Well, some of us have stripes the same direction. I'm gonna ask Doc about that, because Doc Green, he's been studying this stuff. We'll bring him on in about 10 minutes, but I want to go into yesterday's meeting in Tomball. Okay. How do we start? Lionel Lamel. There's this guy, right? He passed away a couple years ago. His name was Lionel Lamel, and he was the sound guy for the Republic of Texas. He spent his money, his time, his effort in, helping people communicate. He bought sound equipment, microphones, and he showed up every event. He was what I call a heavy lifter. He bared the burden of freedom and liberty. He tried to push forward Texas independence, and he died, in that endeavor. I came across his legacy, met the man once when I took over doing sound, and, the Speaker of the House, Bruce Bullock, was doing the heavy lifting after Lionel left, and I picked up and I saw his hopes and his dreams, Lionel Linnell's, and I saw what he put into the fight. Many of us put a lot into the fight, and currently there's a little battle going on over there about the TexasRepublic.com, about the website and how that's being done, and it's not being done exactly how everybody wants to do it, and so forth. And yeah, we have our issues, right? Most of it's about how the government should be betrayed. The government should not be betrayed. It should be portrayed. It's a front-facing website. It faces the public, so it should have criteria. Now, my show, the Republic of Texas Radio, is currently, let's say, for lack of better words, promoted on the website. It was given birth by Tom O'Halloran. Tom O'Halloran approached me and said, "We need to have this radio show." And then I said, "Yeah, we should." And then I outlined the whole thing, and this is my second shot at, freeing Texas through radio. My first shot at Free Texas, it only lasted for about 6 to 8 months, a couple years ago, and whatever. But we started it right there on the website. Now, is that a government job? I'd say no. I would totally agree that the government shouldn't get into radio broadcasting, even if it's pushing, if you'd call this propaganda, I'm just calling it communications, right? I'm trying to get my thoughts to you. So I have my radio show promoted on the website. Tom had, as the webmaster, had his radio show promoted on the website. He built it, his server, his thoughts all together. And, exception was taken to little banner ads that he had off to the side, and they called him offensive and this and that. And we've spent 2 months now, hours and hours. Yesterday it was 4 long hours talking about how a banner ad should be out. Shouldn't be there. There were some harsh words. But the reason I talked about Lionel Lamel is because he was a heavy lifter, and so is Tom O'Halloran. He threw a lot of stuff on his own back and said, "I'm going to carry this." And I do admire that in a person, right? And I see his point, and I see the Republic of Texas's point. A government website, I do not want a government promoting things. But this is a little bit different, right? Because broadcasters like, Doc Green, let's say Tom O'Halloran, we do a big job of trying to show people the similarities and the different paths you can go. So, man, is it different? I don't know. In the end, I think we're done with the whole conversation of, well, whether Tom can have a link to his show on the website. I know me personally, I'm going to get my Republic of Texas radio show off that and move it on to another site. And, not a big deal. Love the Republic of Texas. That's not an issue. I need Texas independence. It's something that the world needs. So that was one of the big things that went on yesterday. Besides that, Ed Brenham went ahead and said, okay, here, House, I want you to start officially planning, form a committee to figure out how we're going to manage taking over the entire country of Texas. That's going to be interesting. And I heard him talk about that back in June, and he spoke very well. That's why I spent a lot of time trying to get him on the show. He's going to tell us what life, in his eyes, will be like as soon as we get freedom and liberty back. There was a lot that happened yesterday, and I'd say it was rather stimulating. Tomball, Texas. Oh, hold on. Let's talk about Tomball next month, because that's where the meeting's going to be again. If you're in the Houston area, I'd like to invite you down there. Tomball, Texas. It will be August 8th, and it'll be at the VFW Hall once again. That is located, what is that dang address? Oh, I don't know. It's here somewhere, and I'll get to it. Hold on. Let me finish up my thought before I lose it. Okay, the address is VFW Post 2427 at 14408 Alice Road. You can go to thetexasrepublic.com and take a look at it. It's an interesting meeting. This time we pulled about 40 to 45 people. I counted all the people as they came in, and we ran out of seating capacity at that location. I'm not too sure that we're going to be able to sustain that any longer. Another thing that I need to talk about, and I think I talked about it a little bit last week, was this other group that's out there, and I've been hearing about them for quite some time. It's got to be a couple years now, and they're called Freedom Texas. Now, Freedom Texas is, it seems like it's looking for the exact same thing that the Republic of Texas is. It's looking to tell Texans that, they don't have to live like this, and there's another way. And I was quite, pleased to hear that last week on Tuesday the 7th, 2015, they were able to pull about 100 people together to talk about Texas independence. Wow, that's kind of crazy. We'll be asking Doc a little bit about that because, he went down there and he talked to those folks. He actually knows them a lot. So we're going to be working more towards that direction and finding out what they're about and where the similarities are. Because together, we have a lot of disparate groups, dissimilar if you don't like the word disparate. But we're all going for the same thing. We're all going for freedom and liberty. Why Texas? I understand that a lot of you listeners are in different parts of the United States. You're not in Texas. I get that. But somebody needs to stand up and say, it stops here. Texas has a mentality about it. We wake up in the morning, we go to work, we get home, we take care of what we need to take care of, we pay the bills. Your word is your word. Some of us, right? I understand that, some people don't, and there are the nanny staters here, and we got a lot of food cards. Okay, I get that too. But we need to stand up. If Texas stands up, maybe the rest of the United States will actually stand up too, because somebody needs to stand up first, and I see that from here in Texas. And that's about it that I really want to deal with. I could talk an awful lot about yesterday's meeting and, all the visitors, and I do need to touch on this one thing. We did have a guest yesterday that wanted to tell everybody that, revolutions are only violent, and it always starts with bloodshed. And I'm going to go ahead and disagree with that and say, hey, man, it doesn't have to be that way. You can't find love and peace with violence. That's not the way it goes. The Speaker of the House, Bruce Bullock, was quick to point out that Latvia, Lithuania, and Estonia, well, they didn't go through a violent revolution. We don't need guns. So as much as I enjoy your opinion, not enjoy, that's not right at all. I don't like violence. That's why I'm here. So as much as I understand your opinion about the requirement of violence to, well, get freedom and liberty, I don't agree with it. And I believe there's a peaceful way, and it starts by everybody just saying, hey, we do not have to live like this, and then we'll move on. We'll get together. Okay, end of Steve rambling. Hey, why don't we bring on Doc Green? Hey, Doc, are you there?
The doctor is in.
Oh, man, it's good to talk to you. I've been listening to you on and off for, well, I guess a couple of months now. You have an interesting show. And tell me a little bit about why Texas? Why do you care about Texas?
Well, first of all, I wasn't born in Texas, but I got here as soon as I could. There's just something about the Texas spirit that appealed to me, so I moved back to Texas permanently in 1979, and I've been here ever since. There's the spirit of Texas stands for liberty, but we're seeing that eroded seriously by the federal government and their Supreme Court actions last week, where the Supreme Court effectively became part of the executive branch. And we're seeing it even here in Texas, where our own lawmakers in the Pink Palace are abusing Texans and kind of making up their own laws as they go along, whether there's any legal basis for it or not.
Okay. How did you end up talking on the radio? Have you always been a radio guy?
Been doing radio for a number of years, and primarily entertainment radio. But certainly in the Houston area, I've been on most of the major AM stations and even one FM station. So I was very fortunate when the Apostle Claver T. Kamau Imani was getting ready to start Raging Elephants Radio, and we became acquainted in church, and he said, hey, I definitely want you on my new radio station when we go live, and that was about 2 years ago. So that's how I got on Raging Elephants Radio and got the opportunity to talk about my true passion, which is liberty in Texas.
Tell me a little bit more about Raging Elephant Radio, because I remember reading the bio a few months ago, and initially you didn't have a focus of strictly Texas. Is that untrue, or is that true?
Well, the Apostle Claver, of course, is known well all around the United States because he was one of the original Liberty guys. And he has always believed that, for instance, as a black man, the salvation of his people relied upon two things, and that is the Bible and conservative politics. And he was just sick and tired of seeing, the black people continually voting for Democrats who are doing them no good whatsoever. And so he started preaching all across the United States at a lot of Tea Party rallies and whatnot, and that's what eventually led to Raging Elephants Radio. But he found a niche, which is Texas radio. There's almost nobody that does nothing but Texas news, and so we wanted to fill that void. There's so much going on in Texas, as you well know, and some of the remarks you made earlier in the show, nobody ever hears about them because everybody's looking at that bright, shiny object called Washington Devil City, and they're not paying any attention to what's going on in the Pink Palace right here in Texas.
When you say Pink Palace, I want to get some clarity on that. Tell me, what is the Pink Palace?
The Pink Palace would be the State House of Texas. It's located in Austin. It's made of pink granite, and hence the Pink Palace, because we don't have legislators by and large there anymore. We have kings and princes, and they believe they have a divine right to rule over Texans. They get together every 2 years, not really to create laws to benefit Texans. They get together every 2 years to divide up the mountain of money and make sure that it
Doc,
gets into
we got a break
hands.
coming over. We got a break coming in here, Doc. Hang on. It's only a couple minutes. We'll be right back.
Want Want something different from your detox? Then you want Hemp USA's Microplant Powder for a full body detox. With 7 formulations and 8 different sizes, you will feel and see the difference. And the best part? It's only about $10 a month. Our customers love it, and we ship worldwide. Get the detox difference. Get Microplant Powder from hempusa.org. Call 888-910-4367 or visit hempusa.org. See what our powder, seeds, and oil can do for you at hempusa.org.
Come to Finca Baiano, a small community in Panama, which is being established for people who believe that a future crisis may be difficult to survive in North America after a collapse of the system. Go to bugoutpanama.com for more information. There is limited space for 100 people only. Go to bugoutpanama.com to immigrate as long as you can. Prepare. Don't despair at bugoutpanama.com.
Dr. Joel Wallach, author of the famous health lecture Dead Doctors Don't Lie, presents his newest book, Epigenetics. Epigenetics is required reading for the very survival of Americans, and yes, all of humanity. Modern man has bet on the wrong horse to save them from disease and pestilence. The medical system has failed us fearfully. Join the health revolution. Buy Epigenetics today and receive a free membership to purchase all the products that Dr. Joel Wallach formulated at wholesale prices and receive a free CD of Dead Doctors Don't Lie. All this for only $25 plus shipping and handling. Call 888-311-4311. That's 888-311-4311. Again, that's just $25 plus shipping and handling. And you'll receive the new book, Epigenetics, a free membership, and a free CD of Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Call 888-311-4311. That's 888-311-4311.
Corporate media dominates the American opinion. Finding independent voices that counter this avalanche is becoming increasingly difficult. With the endless corruption running rampant throughout our government, independent voices are needed more than ever to battle the offensive against our freedoms and liberties. As a listener of RBN, no one understands this concept better than you. Now it's up to you to do your part. The time has come for you to take action and begin broadcasting the truth to hundreds or thousands of people every month. Sound impossible? Quite the contrary. With pointed slogans from LibertyStickers.com, you can reach countless sleeping Americans unaware that they live in a real-life wonderland. LibertyStickers.com has a huge inventory of political bumper stickers and messages that reflect the truth about our government, our politicians, and the future of America. With so many in stock, there's one perfect for you. Visit us today at LibertyStickers.com. Again, that's LibertyStickers.com. Do your part. Your voice is important. Let it be heard.
No, we don't have to fight. It's okay. You're listening to the Republic of Texas Radio. I'm Steve O'Brien. I'm joined by a wonderful guest. His name is Doc Green. He's from Raging Elephant Radio, RagingElephantRadio.com. You can find my stuff at rtradio.org. We were just talking about, well, the government out there in Austin, right? As Doc likes to refer to them as the Pink Palace. Hey, Doc, let me ask you a question about the Pink Palace and the rulers that, throw down their edicts at us, constantly. If Texas were to be free, would you like them to be bossing you around?
The fact of the matter is, when Texas gains its independence, what we're really going to need are some real patriots to maintain that operation. I do think that there's an absolute genius campaign that's being operated now, and that genius campaign is being run by our fellow friends over there at freedomtexas.org. They've got a bunch of bumper stickers that says, Greg Abbott for President of Texas. And their policy is a little less confrontational than mine. I don't mind calling it the Pink Palace. I think that the left hand of the devil, Joe Strauss, is a great impediment to liberty in Texas. And I'd like to see those guys removed. But nonetheless, you and I both believe that Texas independence is the best way to solve our problems, because I don't want to be attached to a godless government being run out of Washington, D.C., where they just constantly pass laws. And, of course, the last one that was passed, most people don't even realize how serious that was. But they made all Texas state laws null and void. They simply said that we are the government now, and you will do exactly what we tell you to do, nothing more and nothing less. And I believe that you have a problem with that, as I do.
Right. And you know what happened after they did that, right? You know, everybody in the United States, everybody in Texas stood up and said, no, we're not going to do. No, they didn't do that, did they? They just said, okay, whatever, man.
Well, there's a thing called interposition, by which our governor, our lieutenant governor, our attorney general, who happens to be being investigated by the FBI right now, any one of those guys could have stood up to the federal government and said, no, we are a sovereign nation. We pay you tax dollars, but that's it. We're not going to follow these unconstitutional laws. Mm-hmm. But none of them did that. And, I mean, particularly as it relates to Greg Abbott, well, I'm going to go to Ken Paxton for a minute, the Attorney General, as it relates to this homosexual marriage bill. He basically told all the county clerks, hey, if you don't feel like issuing this thing, just don't do it, but you're probably going to get sued. And, right. You know, I mean, what was that?
I know. That's crazy. Then we're going to have to, we as the collective, you know, minions of the government are going to have to pay it, right? Indirectly or directly or whatever. It's kind of crazy, all these edicts. And I don't see them following the rules. One of my problems, and one of the reasons why I like the folks over there at Freedom Texas, that their site is actually, and I really do recommend people pop over there and take a look at freedomtexas.org. One word. They have meetings going on all throughout the month. You know, they have a variety of different areas. You can go over there and see a calendar. You know, go meet them. Go see what they're about. You know, they're a little bit different than the Republic of Texas. The Republic of Texas is, well, I like to describe it as going to a C-SPAN meeting and then sticking a nail in your side. It can be very painful. It's important. It's very important. Don't get me wrong. What those folks have done over at the Republic of Texas, they formed a government back in 2005. They've been consistent in following the Constitution, working through all the problems of government in a constitutional government. All the way through now, they've gone from the 10th to the 19th Congress, and there's some remarkable work there. I like the Freedom Texas folks because they do believe in a constitution as far as I understand. Am I correct, Doc? You've had more you've had conversations with them.
Well, you know, the thing is, Republic of Texas and freedomtexas.org want the same thing, and they're not too dissimilar. I see that both organizations have strengths. And one of the things that I love about what you guys are doing with the government in exile, as it were, going to the World Court and getting the case heard there, I think that's a wonderful thing, and I support it. And now that you've got your fundraising link up, I will be supporting it financially.
Okay, here's the music. Hang on, Doc. Music's coming again. Sorry about that. We'll be right back.
You are tuned in to the Republic Broadcasting Network. Visit our website by going to republicbroadcasting.org.
Recent events have shown just how vulnerable we are to deadly viruses, bacteria, and fungus. These diseases are all caused by infectious pathogens that often get the upper hand on conventional medical treatments. Now more than ever, there's a great need for a product that will help protect us. Look no further. Supernatural Silver can provide immune system support to help fight off these deadly pathogens. Supernatural Silver is a new and vastly improved type of silver solution that's safe and extremely effective against 143 types of bacteria bacteria, both forms of viruses, mold, and yeast. Supernatural Silver can be taken orally or used topically and can be used in a nebulizer or vaporizer for inhalation. With over 180 scientific studies by independent universities, hospitals, and research institutions, Supernatural Silver is a powerful weapon against disease. Go to supernaturalsilver.com and use the promo code SILVER2014 for 20% off your entire order. Give you and your loved ones a fighting chance with Supernatural Silver.
There are many water filters to choose from, but there is only one system that is consistently customer rated 5 stars as the #1 system for effective filtration of fluoride, radiation, drug residues, heavy metals, a wide range of radioisotopes, and more. Introducing the Pure Effect Ultra, the next generation water filter that also raises alkaline pH, improves antioxidant potential, and has advanced anti-radiation technology, all while using no electricity. Sold worldwide, it provides virtually instant clean water on demand. It is not made in China, and the shipping is free to all 50 states. Buy your Pure Effect Ultra today by visiting PureEffectFilters.com. or call 888-891-4821. Again, that's 888-891-4821. Or visit PureEffectFilters.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Extendovite really works. Here is what people are saying.
Oh, I had a problem with breathing. When I started to do some walking, I had a problem. I had a heart attack, my second one. I take this pill and I feel great.
I had 3 bypass 10 years ago, and I was in bed almost 24 hours a day, and painkillers out of this world. I started taking this. I'm down to almost no painkillers at all, and it helped my circulation 100%. My medical doctor, and I went to see him, and he could not believe it. There's no way he could have went down that fast. He could not believe it. I showed him what I was taking. He said, don't stop taking it. I wouldn't do without it. It's unbelievable.
To get your Extendovite, call 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Dr. Joel Wallach, author of the famous health lecture Dead Doctors Don't Lie, presents his newest book, Epigenetics. Epigenetics is required reading for the very survival of Americans, and yes, all of humanity. Modern man has bet on the wrong horse to save them from disease and pestilence. The medical system has failed us fearfully. Join the health revolution. Buy Epigenetics today and receive a free membership to purchase all the products that Dr. Joel Wallach formulated at wholesale prices and receive a free CD of Dead Doctors Don't Lie. All this for only $25 plus shipping and handling. Call 888-311-4311. That's 888-311-4311. Again, that's just $25 plus shipping and handling. And you'll receive the new book, Epigenetics, a free membership, and a free CD of Dead Doctors Don't Lie. Call 888-311-4311. That's 888-311-4311.
Okay, so we're back, and this is the Republic of Texas Radio, rtradio.org. I have my guest on. His name is Doc Green. You can find him and his works over at the Raging Elephant Radio. It's actually just RagingElephantsRadio.com. Hey, Doc, you still there?
Well, yes, I am. Where we left off.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, well, I was talking about the beautiful coinage that the Republic of Texas has, and if you like to collect precious metals, I strongly recommend that you look into obtaining a collection of Republic of Texas coinage. Stuff is beautiful.
For sure. You know, you can get those through the Republic of Texas, over at thetexasrepublic.com. Hey, Doc, I had a little bit of a scheduling screw-up, it seems. I was talking to Tom O'Halloran yesterday, and I seem to have miscommunicated, and I have him on the other line. Do you mind if I have him brought on?
No, bring him on.
Hey, Tom, are you there?
I'm here, brother. Morning, Doc.
Good morning, Tom. Tom set in for me on Friday.
Hey, you guys talk a lot, don't you?
We do indeed. Hey, we're in the business of talk.
Yeah, it seems like we're all...
Hey, and Tom, I don't know what you came on to talk about, but I want to talk about the situation with the Chief Justice of the Republic of Texas, Dr. Dave Krupa, before we get off of here.
Okay, let's go there.
Chief Justice of Harris County. Let's clarify that.
Chief Justice of Harris County with the Republic of Texas. But they are charging him under Section 32.48 of the Texas Penal Code, simulating a legal process. And it simply says a person commits an offense if they recklessly cause to be delivered to another any document that simulates a summons or a complaint or a judgment with the intent to induce payment of a claim from another person, or to cause another to submit to the putative authority of the document. This was listed under the fraud code. I don't think that there's any possible way, if there's a jury trial, that they're going to find Doc Krupa guilty of having committed a crime here. This law was written with the intent that someone who is trying to defraud someone else, that is to make them, trick them into paying them or something like that, that's what this law is for. In this particular case, Doc Krupa was simply trying to help a lady who was having her ranch stolen, and it doesn't look good. It looks like the judge involved in this particular case may, in fact, be violating federal law himself.
Oh, wow.
And they simply asked him as an elected official to appear before the Republic of Texas and explain himself. But this is one more example of why I call it the Pink Palace. In this case, the judge said, well, who are these citizens? They should expect me to explain myself. And so he went to Ken Paxton, and then you got the raid on Valentine's Day, February the 14th of 2015, and in violation of multiple parts of the Constitution, by the way. And this whole thing is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. And during the raid, since we were all detained while we were being fingerprinted and having our documents stolen from us, not one of us, including Dr. Dave Krupa, not one of us were read our Miranda rights. So that alone should throw the entire list of charges against Doc Krupa out the window. But even other than that, never mind the Miranda problem, the problem of there was no simulation of a legal process. A simulation would have been if we or Dave Krupa or the RT had sent out a summons looking like it came from the state. That's simulating a legal process. What we did is we sent out a document from the Republic of Texas's common law court. Now, the Supreme Court itself has said in numerous times that the people have a right to a common law court. So there was absolutely nothing wrong that was done here.
Yeah, and that really does explain a lot of what I saw at the courtroom during the arraignment. It was quite an interesting event. I've seen many court events. I've covered many court events. But this one, we had about, I'd say 20 to 30 people in the room. I knew about a handful of them, and the rest of them were there as observers. We're not too sure who some of them were. But the prosecutor was excessively nervous. There were nervous people at all fronts. I'm kind of like going, usually this is your court, and you're sitting there in the place of power, but everybody seemed, on edge. And I wonder if it's something, there's a ruling, allegedly, the Supreme Court said that common law courts were legal, right? And so they're bringing a common law court into statutory court. I'm wondering if it's a bigger case than just that they're fighting a common law battle. They don't want common law to exist ever again.
I think the fear of the current power base in Texas, which is the plutocracy, I think that what happened here, they recognize was absolutely legal, and they are scared to death that other people might realize that they have rights that are being usurped by a tyrannical government out of Austin, which is, like I say, being currently run simply to support the plutocracy, to make sure that all the money gets in the right pockets every year, and not doing anything for the citizens of Texas. And so...
You're right. They're terrified of being found out.
Yes. So we need to support Dr. Krupa. We need to support Susie Kamek in these things. And by the way, for all the saints out there, we need to be praying, because God can intervene in the affairs of men. And this is something that if they are victorious, it is going to change everything in Texas.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. You know, the whole thing. I guess the next date that we're dealing with is August the 4th, and we'll be covering that, you know, here on Republic of Texas Radio, and I'm sure you'll be able to find out plenty of information on your site, Doc. You're right in the mix. Where do you think we go forward?
I am. We were at the Alamo yesterday. You know, yesterday we were there to protest the handing over of the Alamo to the United Nations, UNESCO.
Yeah, I know.
UNESCO, of course, is an organization which the United States cannot pay dues to because they're technically an illegal organization, and they have chosen to recognize Palestine as a state. And, of course, Palestine as a state is a figment of your imagination. It does not exist. And we were there at the Alamo yesterday to protest that handing over. Once again, the people in the Pink Palace, in violation of the wishes of Texas, have done this.
Right. And earlier,
how can that even happen with lawsuits against it? That's what I want to know. You can't transfer property that's in a legal battle.
They don't follow the law, Tom. They don't follow the law. They make the law.
Silly me, what was I thinking?
I know. You're applying logic again. Bad boy.
Right?
You know what pissed me off was earlier in the year when they took the Alamo away from the Daughters of the Republic of Texas. You know, it's like they claimed that they were abusing the site or not maintaining it. And, well, I didn't think that was true.
It's all lies. There's nothing to support that. What they did is they set up the Daughters of the Republic. This was a total fabrication, a complete setup. And if you go to the Doc Green Morning Host page on Facebook, I've got pinned to the top an interview, 2 hours, with the president of the Daughters of the Republic, where we go through this line by line.
I'll have to go there. That sounds like an interesting...
Let's for 1 minute say that the Daughters were lax in maintaining the property. Have you seen the United Nations building? I mean, their own property is a one building ghetto. They've got rats running through the building. They've got pipes hanging down out of the ceiling. Yeah?
That they do well. Name one thing the United Nations do well. I asked that question of every newspaper reporter, every television reporter, and I got blank stares.
Right?
God, I'm working on it, man. Let's see. Where do we go? Shoot. Okay, can I get back to you on that?
Yeah.
Okay. I will work.
Yeah. You're going to need some time to research that one, pal.
Oh, well, hey, I can do both sides of the argument. Someday I'll figure that one out. Wow. So Texas is under attack.
Only one thing, Steve. That's all you got to find. Just one thing.
Just one thing. Hey, let me ask you.
While you're looking, find one good thing that Hillary Clinton's ever done.
Oh, now you're just trying to start trouble, Tom.
Tell me one time fire or water caught on fire.
Right.
I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen. I think I might find something with United Nations or UNESCO being good. I don't know. Maybe I'm biased. I'm not too sure. But Texas is under attack. It's continually under attack. I mean, we had that whole Jade Helm thing. And, before I get into, all of a sudden, Texas is bad. We're going to do this practicing. Oh, no, Texas isn't bad. We love Texas. That's why we're doing all our practice drills in Texas, because we love them so much. Whatever. Over at the Republic of Texas yesterday, all of our guests, we had a whole bunch of guests. I think my total count came to about 15 different people that have never come before. I had conversations with them, and a lot of what was on their mind was the financial stability of the United States of America, of Texas, and this corporate United States altogether. They were kind of distraught about that. What are your feelings? What's getting people all agitated, Doc?
Well, the fact of the matter is, I think anyone with a brain realizes that the financial advice that Greece has been operating under for all these years is the same financial advice that the United States is operating under. And the United States is going to go down financially. There's no way that it can stay afloat. And yet you have Texas, a shining example of many ways that business should be run. We send the government $1, we get back 60 cents. There's no reason for us to remain tied to the Titanic. And so we're doing everything we can. In fact, if you go back to my show on Friday last week, not the one that Tom did yesterday, but Friday a week ago, I had Tommy Attaway out of Dallas, and he wrote up what would be the State of Texas address 3 years after Texas independence, and it was very impressive. And one of the things he put in there was, that we would pay the United States, a couple of $1 trillion just to go away. And there's no reason why they would not take that, because they are broke. Right. Texas would be the 12th largest economy in the world on day one, and we are already nearly the #1 energy producer in the world. What would happen in Texas if you got rid of the EPA, the Department of Energy, and the Department of Education, a scourge on the earth? What would Texas look like in 5 years without that weight?
Right. I don't know. I think we'll God, I guess we're going to talk to Ed a little bit later about that. One of the things that people always get concerned about when I talk to them about Texas independence is kind of about the welfare state. The people that have their little food cards, that are getting money for their rent and so forth. The ethics of a lot of the people in Texas. I won't say the majority, but there's a lot of people that are just cruising through life. What do you see in that, Doc? Tom?
Well, the first thing, and I don't know if that was to Tom or to me.
Let's go to you first.
The first thing that would happen is we eliminate the welfare system in its entirety. If you've got a problem in your personal life, you go to your family. If you've burned all of those bridges, or your family is simply unable to help you, then you go to the church. The church will always help you if you are worthy. And all you got to do to be worthy is be willing to help yourself. But the government should never have been involved in the welfare system, and it will not be involved in the welfare system in the future of Texas. So that means a number of the freeloaders are going to immediately leave Texas and go to where they can continue to get their free stuff. This will solve a lot of problems for Texas.
Tom, what's your thoughts?
Same thing. They just don't belong here. That is not what America was about back then, and it's not what Texas is about today.
Yeah, I'm not too sure how you guys got my thoughts in your head, but I'm glad they're there.
And there's more. There's more. We have a system being put in place that will protect us, because anybody that is not already a Texan, when we get recognized as an independent nation, when they start moving here, it will be 10 years before they will have a vote. So the Californians and the Pennsylvanians and the New Yorkers aren't going to come down here and start voting to get liberals put into office to turn us into California.
Yeah, we all seem to be pushed that way, and there's different parts of California that's pushing the entire United States. Like the California Air Resource Board might be one of the most evil entities around, changing gasoline laws and, engine manufacturing. It's
a tough contest over there, because they've got the Coastal Commission as well. Try getting a business built anywhere within 30 miles of the coastline. Almost impossible.
almost impossible to build anything in California. I know, I'm from California. Just to get a business started, wow, good luck there. Texas is a little different currently today in starting businesses and, doing things on your own, but it's still got a lot of interventionalism built into it. That's something that we want to get removed. We're coming up on a break in about a minute, but what would you see business being like, let's say, in a republic type thing? What kind of role would government have in that? And I'm going to throw this to Doc Green first.
Well, the first role we would have is to roll back all Texas laws and go back to the original Constitution of Texas. And once we get back to that, then we can start to rebuild on something. But right now, it's like that book, 3 Felonies a Day. You commit crimes without even knowing that you're committing a crime. Going back to Dr. Dave Krupa again. This is a non-crime, but it's on the books. We have to get the government out of our business. It's already against a lot to kill people. It's already against a lot to steal their stuff. That should pretty much cover what we need to have in the law. No gun laws are required. They don't do anything but benefit tyrants. And we just need to clean it up. Let's get back to basics and start there again.
Okay, well, we have a 3-minute break coming up, and then the last 5 minutes of the show. So hang on, guys. I got Tom O'Halloran and Doc Green on the line. You're listening to the Republic of Texas Radio.
Your money. What is it worth today? A $100 bill in 1913 is worth only $2 today. So now your money is just about worthless, and the Fed will continue printing more and more of it. But what if you could turn it around, $1 at a time, and make your money worth more than it is now? How? By acquiring gold before your paper money is totally worthless. But how can you afford gold at today's prices? By buying it 1 gram at a time. And this is so important because gold is the future. For as little as $65, you can begin trading your almost worthless currency for something real, something you can hold. Carat bars, which keep their value, can be stored securely, and are easily accessible, just like a savings account. But a savings account backed by your gold. Carat Bars International, a savings account you can count on. For more information, please click on the Carat Bars banner ad at republicbroadcasting.org. Again, that's the Carat Bars banner ad at republicbroadcasting.org. And start saving now.
Herbal Healer Spring Sale. 500 parts per million colloidal silver. All sizes. COQ10 with Hawthorne. Glucosamine chondroitin. Sea cucumber. Colloidal minerals. Superfam and Super Male Plaques. Colon Enhancer. Our top-selling liquid. Cal Mag Vitamin D. MSM Sulfur Capsules. And Elderberry Power Capsules. We also offer certificate correspondence courses in natural medicine. Free memberships and free online newsletters also available at herbalhealer.com. Herbal Healer has been serving the natural medicine industry for 25 years. This is a company you can count on. Visit herbalhealer.com today. herbalhealer.com. That's herbalhealer.com.
Hi, my name is David Merlin from takefromcaesar.us. Income is defined in the tax code. All property is a cost, including labor, according to statute. You're deprived of the provisions of Section 83 whenever you pay an income tax on your compensation. According to Section 83, only the excess over the amount paid is gross income. The government can't so much as provide an interpretation of Section 83 of its own. Get your paradigm shift and understanding today at takefromcaesar.us.
Now there's an amazing new natural antibiotic every person must have. It's Cells Alive Silver Solution, and it destroys over 650 hard-to-kill viruses, fungus, bacteria, and much more. Cells Alive Silver Solution has no expiration date, is great for emergency kits and storage shelters, and comes in 8 or 16-ounce bottles. Order today at 888-910-4367 or visit hempusa.org. Hempusa.org, 100% chemical-free superfoods and unique health products.
Okay. So we're running low on time, so I'm going to just jump in and bump out the bumper music. Hey, my name's Steve O'Brien. You're listening to the Republic of Texas Radio. I have Tom O'Halloran of PatriotRadioshow.com. I hope I got that right. And Doc Green of Raging Elephant Radio on the line. I have to first apologize for getting my scheduling all mixed up tonight. I was supposed to have Doc Green on, and I screwed up in my scheduling Tom to come in, so I brought them both online. I hope you guys are enjoying it. We'll have to get both of them.
It's a total privilege to be on with Tom O'Halloran.
We have both messed up our schedules before. We both have a great regard for each other. We're good friends. And, no, I'm happy to be here with him. While I have you both on, before the time runs out, may I steal the mic for a second?
Please do.
The problem that we were talking about Dr. Dave Krupa, the Chief Justice for Harris County with the Republic of Texas, it's not just him. Our dear friend Susie Kamek, who's been on Raging Elephant's show before with both Doc and myself, she's in exactly the same predicament. Steve O'Brien and I are putting up a GoFundMe website to raise bail money. It should be up today or tomorrow, within the next 48 hours anyway. Please, Doc, if you would write down the domain name and do whatever you can do to push this out there. The URL is rtbailfund.com. Initially, it'll be used for these two people, pay for their legal expenses. Down the road, it will be used for fundraising for other such incidents and attacks against the Republic.
Okay, great.
So
hey,
rtbailfund.com. Please do what you can to support it. Give until it hurts, and then give a little more.
Okay. Hey, Ken in Fort Worth, I know you're on the line. Just hang in there. We do have a caller, but that is very important. We're going to need to get some funding for both of these people. Susie Kamek is sitting at her home 9 years into a spurned loved one stealing money from her and leaving her hold the bag. And she's still struggling. Last I heard, she's having problems even keeping the lights on at this point. And the state still keeps coming at her. I think that the insurance companies must have spent more than her property's worth, on this entire battle.
The officials want a piece of property that she's sitting on. Her folks left her a very nice home on a very nice piece of property up around where Karl Rove and some other bigwigs live. And they want to break her. They want her to lose the property so they can sell it and put money in their coffers.
Yeah, I heard that too. I heard that there might be other reasons, and the value of the property exceeds the value of the property. And
this is like the Grand Ole Opry. If you don't give me the deed to your ranch, I'm going to saw you all in half. And there's an FBI investigation going on right now that some of this confiscated land is ending up in the hands of the judges that confiscated it. Question mark?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Right. Hey, let's bring on Ken in Fort Worth and see if we can fit him in towards the end of the hour. See what's going on. Ken, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry for the late bring-in. What's going on, Ken?
Hey, my wife and I went to the Republic of Texas trial in 1998 in the Dallas Federal Courthouse. It was interesting.
In 1998?
98, yeah. David J. Smith, he talked and talked and talked, and the prosecutor just sat there in the chair because he was telling the truth. But anyway, then they showed some videos of UN vehicles on trailers. But anyway, I don't know whatever happened to those guys.
Hey, Ken, I want you to, if you could,
Greg
hang on.
Is in Gatesville Prison serving a 99-year sentence for burglary. 99 years for burglary. That's where Greg Paulson is, and he's one of those guys that was on trial.
Hey, Ken, hey, hang on through the other side of the hour. Hey, Tom, if you feel like it, why don't you go ahead and hang on for the other hour, and we'll go in with Ed. Doc,
sure.
We got to do this again, man. I'm sorry. I need more time with you. Can you come back sometime quick in the future?
Absolutely, Steve. It was a pleasure. God bless you. God bless Texas. But most of all, Texans bless God.
Okay, this is RT Radio. We're going up the top of the hour. We'll be right back.
With financial uncertainty circling the globe due to job losses, decline in the housing market, a climate of corruption, bailouts, currency rigging, and unfair competition, many are once more turning to precious metals as the only hedge against the uncertainty of the future. With the U.S. House conducting hearings on proposals to confiscate workers' personal retirement accounts, including 401ks and IRAs, this is the time to secure your assets. Call Republic Trading Group today, 800-691-7898 before this happens, and find out how easy it is to convert your existing IRA and in some instances your 401k plan into real wealth now. Don't let the ravages of hyperinflation caused by the massive increase of fiat currency now flooding world markets affect your retirement account. Call RTG at 800-691-7898 and experience the security and peace of mind that only real gold and silver can offer. That number again is 800-691-7898. Call now.
You're listening to Republic Broadcasting Network, because you can handle the truth.